Hello my book besties, happy 2024 and welcome to the first monthly TBR of the year. Welcome to the January 2024 TBR. I am so excited. I have decided to continue on with my TBR jar full of reading prompts to pick out my TBR for the month because I really enjoyed doing this last year. It was so much fun and you guys really seem to like it too, so I thought let's bring that into 2024. Also, it's really helpful because I am super indecisive when it comes to picking out my monthly TBRs. So yeah, I'm super excited. I hope everyone had a great start to the year so far and hopefully we all have a really good year this year. I think I'm going to pick out 6 books for January's TBR. I'm not sure if I'm going to read all 6 just because I am traveling in Jan. I'm going overseas for 2.5 weeks and I cannot wait. I'm planning to film some travel vlogs, so stay tuned for that, but I think we're going to stick with 6 books anyway and we'll see how we go. I hope it's going to be a good prompt to start off the year. So first reading prompt is a book involving food. Well, that is a good start because I love books and I love food and I love food and books. My mind straight went to a book that I actually DNF'd last year and it's actually on my 2024 official TBR, and that is Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly. But I also think I have some other book options as well, so I'm just going to quickly go through and see what I want to go with. I have 2 books and I think I know which one I want to go with, but first one I have here is Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly. Our 2 main characters in this book are actually competing in a cooking competition, which obviously that fits the theme involving food. It's involving food and cooking, so that works out. And then the other option I have is Battle Royal by Lucy Parker. This has never been on a TBR video before, so this obviously is a good contender, but this is actually on set of a baking show, I think, actually. Obviously one's a baking show, one's a cooking show. I'm leaning more towards Love and Other Disasters because I really do want to continue on with this book after I DNF'd it last year and it's on my 2024 TBR, so I feel like I need to read this. So I think we're gonna go with Love and Other Disasters for our first pick, but I definitely do need to read Battle Royal because that's been on my TBR since like 2021, so I need to get it off my TBR. Second reading prompt is read a book by Sarah Adams. Okay, I love that because I love Sarah Adams. I've got 2 Sarah Adams books that are on my physical TBR, but I'm gonna go with The Off Limits Rule because this is actually on my 2024 TBR as well, so I am wanting to get through that official TBR, so obviously I think this is going to be great. This is a brother's best friend, roommate, forced proximity, also enemies to lovers as well, so it's got some really great tropes, under 300 pages. I love Sarah Adams. I've loved every single book I've read from her so far, so I've got really high hopes for this one. The next reading prompt is a book ending in an even page number. Okay, I love this prompt. Okay, let me think about what books I really want to read this month and we can kind of go from there. Kind of leaning towards Throttled, so let me see if this is an even page number. Nope, this one ends on page 369, which is an odd number, so we're not going to do Throttled. The Last Encore, because I haven't heard anyone talk about this book before. This is ending on page 352. That is the final page of the book. I think for this prompt I'm going to go with The Last Encore by Elodie Colliard. I haven't heard anyone talk about this book before, so I'm going in with like 0 expectations, which is really good, and I'm excited to read this book and tell you guys if I think you should read it because I obviously haven't heard anyone talk about it. Our main female character actually has a photography business, which is really cool, and it's actually not doing as good as she'd hoped, and then she runs into her ex-best friend Joshua during an event and they haven't seen each other I think for like 10 years. Then when Avery has a business opportunity that comes up, she agrees to photograph Josh's sister for her upcoming wedding, and obviously this is forced proximity. They need to spend time with each other because that's obviously Josh's sister's wedding. Ex-best friends to lovers, sort of second chance romance sort of thing, and I don't know, I think that's going to be so cool. I love wedding settings in books. I love photography, so I think that's going to be really cool. And yeah, I am really excited to read this, and I feel like this book cover is giving summer vibes, and we're obviously in summer here in Australia, so I think that's gonna work out really well. We have got is this one. So a book with a green cover. All of my green covers are up there where you can't even see them, and I'm trying to see which one I want to read from the green cover list. Oh, I know exactly the one. I keep talking about how I've been wanting to read this series in the summertime, and it's summer here in Australia, and this fits the green cover prompt. The summer I turn pretty. I cannot believe I still haven't read this book series yet. I had every intention of reading this back in July when I was traveling, and it just never happened. Now I can read it because it is peak summer here in Australia. I'm also going on summer vacation. I need to read this. I really want to read this in 2024, like the entire series, because I still haven't watched the Amazon Prime show because I want to read the series first. We've got 2 more prompts to go. So this is our 5th reading prompt. A book that you haven't heard many reviews about. That would have been good for the last Encore book because I haven't heard anyone talk about that before. Okay, I've chosen 2 books that could go for this prompt. So the first one I have is When I Come Home by Maisie Myers, which is the first book in the Pine Ridge Farm series, and it's a small town little romance series. I love Maisie Myers. She's one of my favorite indie authors. I don't know too much about this book other than it's small town, and obviously that sold me. And then the other book I have here is Make It Sweet by Kristen Callahan. This is a Grumpy Sunshine romance. We follow Emma, who is an actress, but her TV show that she was on, her character actually dies, and she also found out that her boyfriend cheated on her, and she just needs a little escape. So she goes and stays at this estate in California, where she bumps into this ex-hockey player named Lucien, don't know how to say his name. They end up growing an attraction for each other, and that's kind of what this book is about. I don't know which one out of these 2. I do really want to read When I Come Home, but I don't feel like I want to read this book this month because it's giving more like autumnal cozy vibes, and I don't really want to read that. Make It Sweet doesn't really give summer vibes either, but I feel like this book is something I'm leaning more towards anyway, and this is also on my 2024 TBR, so it works out. So I think I'm gonna go with Make It Sweet by Kristen Callahan. Okay, we're up to our 6th and final reading prompt, and let's hope for a really good one. Let's hope that this is gonna be like my new 5-star read or something for the month, because I am craving a 5-star read, and I think that would be so good if I get one in January. A book with a number in the title. I feel like a lot of them I've read, like Daisy Jones and the Six. I've read that book. 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, read that book. But let me see what books that I've got that has a number in the title that I haven't read yet, because I want to go for a physical TBR book. Okay, I have 1 option so far. It seems like I've only got 1 option for this one that I haven't read yet, and that one is Marriage for One by Ella Mays. I believe this is a marriage of convenience romance trope. It's been a while since I read a marriage of convenience book, so I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous about picking this one up, if I'm gonna be honest, besides it being like chunky. It's like 500 pages long, but also I have read an Ella Mays book last year and I rated it 1 star. It gave me the absolute ick, and I've kind of just been turned off reading any of her other books. But Rachel Catherine, who read this book, loved it. It's like one of her favorite romances, and she also didn't like the same book that she read by this author, but she loved this one, so that kind of gives me hope that I'll probably like this one too. So Rachel, you are the motivation for me to read this book, because you loved this book despite not liking To Love Jason Thorne, which I also did not like. So fingers crossed we like it. But yeah, so this is the final book for our January TBR. So let's do a quick overview of the 6 books that I'm hoping to read and what prompts they fulfilled. So for a book with a number in the title, we've got Marriage for One by Ella Mays. For a book that I haven't heard many reviews about, we've got Make It Sweet by Kristen Callahan. For a book with a green cover, we've got Summer I Turn Pretty by Jenny Han. For a book with an even amount of pages, we've got The Last Encore by Elodie Colliard. For a book written by Sarah Adams, we've got The Off Limits Rules by Sarah Adams. And lastly, for a book involving food, we've got Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly. So those are the books that we are hoping to read in the month of January. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video. Let me know what book I should start off with. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed watching. I do want to let you guys know there will not be a January wrap up this month because I will be traveling and I won't be able able to film a wrap up. So I will probably combine January and February's reading wrap up together, and I probably also won't have a February TBR video either because I will be traveling. So yeah, Jan and Feb wrap up will be combined together, and there won't be a Feb TBR unfortunately, but there will definitely be one for March. But yeah, subscribe to my channel down below for more videos, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!